Hi, I'm Chris Van Hollen, and many thanks to the AKAs for your active engagement in addressing the most pressing challenges of our day, and for the opportunity to answer your questions. You ask about my plan to put the well-being and economic security of Marylanders above politics, and that's what I've been doing and will continue to do. I find that wherever I go in Maryland, most people, regardless of party, want the same things: fair pay for their work, an affordable home and safe neighborhood for their families, a quality education and better future for their kids, and a secure retirement. I'm running for re-election in the United States Senate to advance those goals and to uphold our values of justice, equality, and opportunity for all. Over the last 6 years, I've worked to bring key investments to our state to support our families, our workers, our schools, and our small businesses. And I've also delivered real results to help modernize our infrastructure, protect our environment, and support our seniors and our veterans. You also ask about my vision for our state and our country and how I will work to advance that. I believe that fundamentally this election is about what kind of country we will be going forward. Will we protect the right to vote for every citizen? Will we take action to stem the epidemic of gun violence and increase safety in our communities? Will we protect a woman's right to reproductive freedom? Will we make sure every voice is heard in our elections and end voter suppression? Will we work to build a more inclusive country where all Americans, not just the wealthiest few, have access to good-paying jobs, affordable health and child care, quality education, prescription drugs, housing, and dignity in retirement? I've introduced legislation in the United States Senate to advance all of these goals, and if reelected, I will continue working with the AKAs to turn them into reality. You also ask about the top 3 things you should hold me accountable for. There are many issues, but I would focus on the following 3. First, we must build an inclusive economy with more shared prosperity. I've worked with the Biden-Harris administration to help those hardest hit by the pandemic get back on their feet. But returning to the pre-pandemic status quo isn't good enough. We must expand economic opportunities for all Americans by generating good jobs at livable wages and by relieving the pressures on family budgets by cutting the costs of essential services. Expanding opportunity starts with universal early education and by ensuring that every child has access to good schools and affordable college opportunities. To reduce the squeeze on family finances, we must also cut the costs of quality childcare, expand the supply of affordable housing, give Medicare the power to negotiate lower drug prices, accelerate the deployment of cheaper, cleaner energy, and extend the child tax credits to eliminate childhood poverty. I've put forward legislation to accomplish these goals, and I would pay for these investments by closing the huge corporate tax breaks that allow multinational corporations to stash their profits in places like the Cayman Islands. And I would require big polluters to pay to clean up their mess. Second, we need to protect our democracy. Every voice must be heard to achieve the goals of our country. I'm an original co-sponsor of the Freedom to Vote Act and the John Lewis Voting Rights Act to fortify our democracy against the big lie and to protect the right to vote by establishing uniform national standards that guarantee every citizen fair access to the ballot box. This is important for our democracy, as is my fight to rid our elections of the torrent of secret dark money that puts powerful big money special interests ahead of the American people. And finally, we need to pursue policies that increase public safety, reform a broken criminal justice system, and stop the gun violence epidemic. There's no single answer. Addressing the urgent crisis of gun violence and improving the safety of our neighborhoods requires all of us working together to take a number of actions. We must pass effective gun safety laws to get weapons of war off our streets. We must provide opportunities and interventions for struggling youth. We must expand access to mental health services. We must improve and enhance community policing and provide alternatives to police responses where appropriate. And we must invest in violence prevention programs as we work to revitalize and strengthen our neighborhoods. This work must go hand in hand with our efforts to reform our criminal justice system and end the scandal of mass incarceration. I've proposed legislation in each of these areas. With these priorities in mind, we can continue our pursuit of a more perfect union and leave our children with a better country and world than we found it. I'm confident that by working together, we can meet our biggest challenges and that our best days are still ahead. Thank you to the AKAs for being partners on that journey.